feel like a lot of us tend to vest our value in how we interact with others and how we interact with the world around us. In saying that, I mean that, you know, a lot of us don't act like the person we need or be the person that we wish we had in the past. A lot of our life is spent in reference to the past, to our absence, our lacks, our inaction, things that we don't have, things that we don't get from others that we need in order to be comfortable. And what I'm saying is a lot of us look for comfort in things that aren't us. And in doing that, we tend to have instability. I feel like a lot of our lives are unstable due to our inabilities, our unawareness, our constant need for reassurance from people that aren't us. And that's not for everything, and that's not for everybody too. You know, some people get their value from what they do. Like maybe they sing, dance, maybe they, get their value from what they do in school academically. But regardless of that, I feel like any foundation that's external, while it might seem like it's objectively strong and it may last, it may work for you, but for me, I think that it should always be placed in yourself. I always say in my videos that you're the only person that's going to be with you 100% of the time. You're the only person that's going to be there for you 100% of the time. And when I say there for you, I don't always mean that, you're going to be able to pick yourself up every time. Some people don't, do that. Some people don't have the capability. I sometimes don't have the capability to do so. But what I'm saying is, in realizing that, you're going to be the person that's there for you all the time, it somewhat pushes you to build yourself up into somebody that can take care of yourself. Being the person you wish you had is not just about giving yourself necessary attention. It's about realizing what you need in doing that, regardless of what your desire at the moment may be, somewhat having a future mindset in the present, realizing what serves you, realizing what doesn't, and moving from there. When we don't do something like that, I feel like that's when we start to get caught up in the nonsense of our own heads due to our disdain for ourselves. Our inability to be authentic to ourselves makes us uncomfortable in our expression. And, this discomfort, I feel like, can easily be solved just by our realization that who we are is all we can be. Not saying that you can't change the negative aspects of yourself, but, you have to love yourself at a baseline level, not necessarily what you do, but, what you can be and what you can become. And I was going to title this video something about everyone has potential, because it's true. And I feel like a lot of people just don't invest their attention, their certainty, their faith in their own potential. They invest it in potential for the world to change for them. And I'm not saying you have to change for the world. I'm saying if you want to be comfortable to a certain extent, you're the person that has to change. I'm not saying you have to change the way you act. You just have to change the way you feel about your expression. As long as you're comfortable with your moral status, your spirit, how you interact, you're all fine and dandy. And I'm not saying don't take reference from other people, because I feel like it's very important to understand how you interact socially. And one of the only ways to do that is to socially interact. To interact with people and understand where they're coming from and their perspective and how you can build off of that. But at the same time, you might have to take, stuff people say with a grain of salt. Not everyone has your best interests at heart. And that's also a part of it. In treating yourself or in being somebody that you wish you had, be true to yourself. Make sure you're not biasing your own opinion of yourself just off of your ego, just off of your relation to how you want to be perceived, but how you are. Realize the implication of some of your actions, and also realize how you interact and how you interact with yourself. It's not just about the dichotomy of yourself in the situation. It's the dichotomy of yourself in your perception of yourself. I feel like a lot of us easily get clouded in our judgments of ourselves, either negatively or positively. And I like to be in that in between. Sometimes it teeter totters. I can't lie. But I mean, that's what works for me. And I feel like that's the most comfortable way to be. And thinking that you're less than yourself, you're going to express yourself in ways that are, you feel sometimes unbefitting. Like, oh, I should be doing more. And in that loss, you're going to find, somewhat some disappointment sometimes some regret. But on the contrary, you put yourself in this hierarchy, you become borderline narcissistic. I find that, you lose your touch with people. You lose your touch with your interaction with, your humanity. Not saying that people who are narcissists aren't human, but the way they interact sometimes disregards the idea of Sonder. The realization that everyone has their own complex life to live. So in everything, I feel like we should find that moderation, find that being yourself, but also being amiable, being kind, being positive to others, and realizing how your interactions and how you can influence others. It's kind of a fine line. Sometimes not, At the same time, I feel like it's a fine line. I feel like it's very grand. It's very easy to be authentic. It's just hard to get rid of the biases of your mind and be comfortable being authentic. I feel like at a baseline level, everyone wants to tend towards who they are. That's why they keep certain people close that make them feel like more like themselves, when they feel like they can express themselves in certain ways. And, not to say that finding that in people is bad. I feel like that's a great thing. It makes everything more intimate, more special. But I don't even want to say but. This is a whole different point, because I completely agree with that. But in terms of our comfort with our everyday interaction, because I don't feel like, as open as I am, as open as I tend to be, there's a lot of aspects of myself I feel like I keep to myself or keep to the closest people. You have to keep some of that there. I'm not sure if that's like a comfort thing or if that's just a life thing. It's not something I have figured out yet. But from what I have gained, I realize that, it's important to have that kind of shelter within yourself. You can't be an open book to everybody. You can't. Some people won't take the time to read you, and they'll connotate you regardless. Now, if you keep yourself an open book and you think, oh, I showed my whole personality to this person, and then you're going to start to feel like it's an attack on your person. It's about having a solid baseline, but also being open. And in that openness, filtering out, what is you and what isn't. I don't think any one comment can or should displace how you feel about yourself. It's, and I know that's like, I just know that's like very hard to say, or very hard to actually put into practice. Because you hear one thing and then you're like, it throws your whole life into a tangent. But I feel like it shouldn't. And I feel like some of that is insecurity, a lack of firmness within ourselves. Realizing that no matter what we do, we can do it. To know seeming possible means you too can do it. And that's like security in your ability. Now, security in yourself, I feel like, is like, no matter what happens, no matter the situation, I feel like I'm going to express myself in a way that's befitting of me. Or I'm not going to be disappointed with the way I acted in a certain situation. And I feel like part of that is the comfort with your expression, the what would I call it? Realization that if you're comfortable with yourself, if you're okay with how you interact, if you're, I guess, present enough to experience yourself, and you're okay with how you are, I think that's where you find that good comfort. That's where you find that being able to do whatever you want without necessarily thinking about it prior. And how that relates to, being a person you wish you had. It's like somewhat letting your kid go, just experience, but also being there for them whenever they need to, ground themselves and realize when certain situations need your hand and realize when they don't. And also realize when you need to relax, when you need to put in work. Holding yourself accountable, but also creating opportunities and venues for yourself to have fun and experience life for what it can be and also what it is. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really can't thank you enough. I just opened a Discord server. I don't know how that works. I really don't. And I'm gonna try to get some moderators or something like that. I don't know. And I'm also getting my podcast onto Spotify. So if you guys go on to Spotify and just type in Profound Podcast, it's gonna say by E&B. I have some old stuff on there. I haven't uploaded anything new recent. I was uploading podcasts back last year, but I wasn't really, committed to doing that. But I'm about to start getting back into it. So for those of you who asked for it, thank you for holding me accountable. Those of you who are new, thank you for watching. Those of you who are old, thank you. Those of you who've been here since day one, much love to y'all. I love all of y'all though, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm glad my videos are helping y'all. Like I said, if they're not helping you, they're helping me. But all in all, have a great day. Be intentional. Don't let your thoughts get the better of you. Treat yourself like someone you're trying to help, and be true to yourself, but also give yourself grace at the same time. Like, don't be too hard on yourself, but realize when you need to kind of put your foot down.